Part 2 on how to get your parents on board for an interfaith relationship. It is not easy. Hey, I'm Umama. I am a Bengali Muslim American, and my partner Amit is a Hindu Punjabi American. So after you've gone over your values, you've introduced them as your friend, then it's time to actually tell your parents. I decided to tell my mom and confide in her because she was kind of poking at me. And then finally I was like, you know what? We've already said I love you. This is the man I definitely want to be with, so I'm just going to tell her. Of course, she told my dad. And my dad was not about it. I got this text from him. So basically, I was told that I would be bringing shame onto our family by marrying someone outside of our culture and religion because I could not have a formal nikah. After I stopped reacting and stood back and understand, their main thing is number 1, what will fucking people say? 2, how is this gonna work? How can she have a nikah and marry a non-Muslim man? And 3, how is she going to preserve our culture, traditions, and religion as she brings up children and raises her family? I had a therapist at this time, so they helped me gain context on this. But I had to recognize my parents disowning me was a way for them to get space to understand their emotions and feelings. I honored that space and time that they needed to be able to digest what was going on and the reality of the situation. I was estranged from the family. My dad told me not to use our last name, that I have been disowned, and I have developed a lot of self-discipline and self-trust to know that I will always be okay, but I do want their love and support in this. This was not an easy period. My cousins were coming at me, my aunts, uncles, chachas, whatever, and saying, how could you do this to your parents? They've given you everything. Even when my cousins did marry interfaith and interculture, and he got a divorce and he was like, don't end up like me. I was like, bro, I ain't gonna be you. But yeah, it was bad. So I had faith in my relationship and I did the research. I was listening. I just wanted to know that this relationship was gonna be sanctioned by God, aka a nikah. So damn, I put all the word out there to all my friends to figure out how can I find an imam that will do a interfaith nikah ceremony. And that's when I found MPV, Muslims for Progressive Values, and I showed my parents. They're like, oh, is this legit? Yes. And that was about a 6-month timeline. I was not gonna let them push this under the rug this time. For context, I've been disowned like 3 times now. I've always known I've been a rebel, so it was not that unexpected, but I had to set this precedent for myself, my sister, and even all my cousins. Big sis probs. Part 3 is how I actually started to develop a relationship between my partner and my parents and then his family.